After October 7th, when there was what appeared to be an artificial boost in anti-Israel, pro-Palestine content, Democrats and Republicans came together and said it's time to stop TikTok from being able to control what people think in this country. Now, the reason I say that is not because I'm biased one way or the other on Israel-Palestine. There's a lot of legitimate criticism from the pro-Palestine side and anti-Israel. The issue was when October 7th happened, the majority of the content, it was largely pro-Israel, anti-Hamas. And then over a period of a couple days on the weekend, it flipped completely. That is not indicative of natural trends among people. It's indicative of an algorithmic switch. This triggered Democrats and Republicans to be like, we got to shut this down. But when Republicans started getting traction and Donald Trump personally started getting traction, all of a sudden he was like, nah, maybe we don't want to do this anymore. Yes. I say, shut them down. Foreign governments do not have free speech in America. They should divest. And if they don't want to, this is a trick. TikTok does not have to shut down. They are doing it so that American users go, oh no, Trump is taking away TikTok from us. Not true.
I also think that the part of the reason why they want to shut down as opposed to, sell it off or whatever is because the servers and the app itself is compromised and whoever were to purchase it would see what they were doing and also see the algorithm, and probably see the algorithm, I assume, that they've been using, and that would implicate the Chinese Communist Party in espionage.
I think there's a lot of other far more serious risks to the American people, the mind of the American people, than TikTok. I think that China, for example, purchasing farmland in strategic positions around the United States is a far greater threat.
Different subject though.
And they also own the entire slate of Hollywood. They control they basically say you can't put this in this movie or we won't show it in the Chinese market, the largest movie marketplace in the world. Then on top of all that, they have a lot of influence in a multitude of other different aspects of American society, including sports. The Daily Wire did a great 6 or something part series about how they're infiltrated into all these other parts of culture. So to think that TikTok specifically represents some type of existential threat, I don't think is really true. And if you want to say that, okay, they don't have the right to free speech or they can't collect this data, well then make a rule that this type of data can't be collected by any social media
The issue
platform.
is that they put Dylan Mulvaney on the front page. That's the issue.
Is that proof, though? Can you prove that that's the case?
That TikTok's algorithm puts it, that's a fact. I mean,
can you prove that they put their thumb on the scale that is the case because of them?
Yes.
How?
By going on TikTok, scraping the data and looking at what appears and what doesn't. And we actually do rather simple experiments on tracking this data. You'd have to replicate what we do probably 100 times, but I think it's fair to say it's easily done by any AI. You take a look at Dylan Mulvaney's earliest videos, which we did, and they have nothing to do with being trans. They are gay safari. Yes. And what Dylan Mulvaney was doing was basically poking the algorithm to figure out what kind of video would go viral. When Dylan Mulvaney came out as, it's gay safari, wasn't really getting a lot of traction. Then did the I'm non-binary, good amount of views. Then the next video, I'm now trans, double the views. Then, hey guys, I'm trans, not so many views. So, Days of Girlhood, boom, instant algorithmic success. You can look at almost any creator on various platforms. YouTube it's true, the same thing. Look at Mr. Beast's early content, and you can see how it's not that they're intentionally sitting down and saying, how can we exploit the algorithm? They're making content, and then content that works, they decide, hey, people like that, I'll keep doing it. So you can see on TikTok that woke, weird gender garbage and ideologies that break the minds of young people have been massively dominant on the platform. And it was only when the right said we are being censored that TikTok switched it and gave conservatives a little bit.
But is that grounds for banning?
Yes.
I mean, couldn't you say that every other mainstream news outlet in America, including Facebook, including Instagram, including Google, incling YouTube, every single other platform does the exact same thing?
Well, I can sue Facebook in the United States.
They're Americans.
Yeah, but TikTok has established corporate ties in the United States.
China can divest from it, and we got no problem. They can run their algorithm exactly as YouTube, X, and Facebook do. We can complain. We can make claims of government collusion, send investigative journalists and file lawsuits and FOIA requests. Turns out X and Twitter, I don't want to blame X because X is new. Twitter and Facebook were operating portals to allow the feds to go in to take down posts or to flag them. And we don't know what TikTok does because all that's happening in China. So China divest, TikTok stays, we're fine. The problem right now is I'm not arguing for banning TikTok. I'm arguing China divest. I don't know why you would actually argue that China should be allowed to own it.
I just don't understand what is the grounds that require. I don't understand what forcing them to divest changes about this algorithm or changes about what they're doing there.
It doesn't.
Then couldn't theoretically China remain invested in it, but you have to reveal X, Y, and Z? Because is China not invested in a multitude of other different aspects of American
U.S.
society?
just named Tencent as a military company.
Oh, they did?
So it looks like the moves are happening in on more than just TikTok. And while the bill that was passed specifically isolates ByteDance and TikTok, it does go on to mention any other company that is being operated in a similar way by Russia, North Korea, China, or Iran. Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.